Welcome back. In the previous class, we have discussed that how to connect three-phase sources, particularly balanced source, with the three-phase balanced load. And what we have observed, the delta connected load is more desirable than the Y connected load because it is easier to alter the loads in any one phase of the delta connected loads, and this is due to the fact the individual loads are connected across the lines. However, the delta connected source is hardly used in the practical application because any slight imbalance in phase voltage will result in unwanted circulating currents. So this is the discussion about the connection. In today's lecture, I am going to talk about the power in a balanced system. It means that my source as well as load all are balanced, and after that we are going to examine the power. So I am going to start with the instantaneous power. So I am going to talk about first the instantaneous power. Instantaneous power, same like the one phase circuit. And after discussing about the instantaneous power, we are able to understand that why three phase connection is more preferred over the one phase connection. And after instantaneous power, I am going to talk about the average power as well as the complex power. So in order to talk about instantaneous power, I have to done analysis in time domain. So let us again start with the Y connected load. So I am going to talk about the Y connected because one can easily change Y into delta, delta into Y. So you can talk one of the topology. So for a Y connected load, and again assumption is that means whatever the voltage that follow the positive sequence, the phase voltages are, and since I am going to talk about the instantaneous power, so I have to talk about the maximum power, maximum value of the voltage. So I am going to convert from RMS to the maximum, means initially whenever we are denoting in phasor form in all previous chapters we are assuming Vp as a RMS value, but here I am going to write like this, means if I multiply RMS value with root 2, then that will gives us the maximum value, and that is cos omega t. And after that, and why basically we are doing, because in this same way we have calculated the power in the electrical circuit. So Vp, and due to positive sequence I have 120 degree, and again I have Vcn, that is root 2 Vp, and this is nothing but cos omega t plus 120 degree. So in this way I have represented the phase voltages, and here where the factor root 2, because I have multiplied with root 2, is necessary because Vp has been defined as the RMS value of the phase voltages. Now you are already aware with what is meaning of line voltage, what is meaning of phase voltage, what is meaning of phase current. So I am not going to again discuss. Now if we assume that the if y connected load and their phasor representation is like this. So this is theta. So write this in form of theta. So this is the theta. The phase currents lag behind their corresponding phase voltage by theta, and due to this reason, now because I am going to generalize this, so I have considered the general load, and after that here I am putting the generalized angle or generalized phase. So I can represent Ia equal to root 2 Ip. Again by the same reason I have multiplied with Ip as the above, and that is omega minus theta, because I am assuming that phase current lag behind their corresponding phase by angle theta, and Ib is root 2 pi Ip cos omega t minus theta minus 120 degree, and Ic is root 2 Ip cos omega t minus theta plus 120 degree. So in this way I am able to identify the phase current as well as the phase voltage. And here let us again define this, otherwise sometime people may confuse that what is Ip. Ip is the RMS value. So where Ip is the RMS value of the phase current. Now since I have identified voltage as well as current in each phase, so now I am going to talk about the total instantaneous power. So the total, and since power is a scalar quantity, so it is possible to add instantaneous power and total instantaneous power I am going to represent by P, that is power PA plus PB plus PC, and after that now this is nothing but VAN IA plus VBN IB plus VCN IC, and now just we have to put the value, and after substituting the value I have VPIP, where VPIP is the RMS value, and this become cos omega t multiplied by cos omega t minus theta. Similarly, I have cos omega t minus 120 degree multiplied by cos omega t minus theta minus 120 degree, and lastly I have cos omega t plus 120 degree multiplied by cos omega t minus theta or plus 120 degree. So in this way I have defined the total instantaneous power, and after applying the trigonometric identity, and I am going to apply this kind of trigonometric identity cos A into cos B, that is 1 by 2 cos A plus B and plus cos A minus B, then it is possible to write again this power P is VPIP into, so I am going to write directly because this is not difficult to see the manipulation. So omega t minus theta plus cos 2 omega t minus theta minus 240 degree. So please check the calculation, and after that cos 2 omega t plus theta, actually in upper place I have minus theta, so again same minus theta is also involved here. So by symmetry I am trying to write, so minus theta and plus 240 degree. And if you further see the manipulation, then I can able to write like this: VP IP, and after that I have 3 cos theta, and now what I am going to do, I am going to define this angle, this particular quantity, like this particular quantity as a alpha. So if you define this as a alpha, then because everywhere you can see that here also that is appear, here that is also appear, so due to that reason I am going to write, simplify this, cos alpha cos 240 degree and plus sin alpha sin 240 degree, and after that plus cos alpha cos 240 degree and minus sin alpha sin 240 degree. So in this way I am able to write it, and I have already defined what is meaning of alpha. So again please write such that one cannot confuse. So this is the definition of alpha, and further I can able to write like this: Vp into Ip, and now I have 3 cos theta plus cos alpha, and I am going to substitute the value of cos to 40 degree, sin to 40 degree, then I will get this kind of expression and cos alpha. Now you can see that easily I can see that these two terms are going to cancel out each other. So final expression is Vp Ip cos theta multiplied by 3. So this is the one of the most beautiful result. And why I am telling this is one of the most beautiful or most important result, because what we have observed that the total instantaneous power in a balanced three-phase system is constant, because theta is the whatever theta I have defined, and I have defined that theta is the lag angle corresponding to the phase voltage. Means I have assumed that means our load, Y connected load, has theta phase lag with respect to phase voltage, and due to that reason I am telling that in three phase system instantaneous power is constant. It means that it is not going to change with the time, and in each phase instantaneous power is constant. And basically this is not only correct for the Y connected load, but same kind of things is also possible to show for delta connected load. But we already know that delta and Y is somehow equivalent, so instantaneous power in Y is constant, so obviously that is also constant in delta. And due to this reason, this is one of the most important reason for using a three-phase system to generate and distribute the power. So most of time if you are going for some interview, then people are asking this kind of question, that why means three phase is prefer over the one phase, and this is one of the reason. Second reason I will discuss in the next class. So let us write this result, because this result is very important. So I am going to write this result in form of remark. And what is the main remark? The total instantaneous power in a balanced three phase system is constant. It does not change with time, as the instantaneous power of each phase does, and this result is true whether the the load is Y or delta connected, and this is one important region, and due to this region almost all country has adopted this region for using a three-phase system to generate and distribute power. Now, after seeing the instantaneous power, now I am going to talk about the other power, because we have defined other power like average power, and after that apparent power, complex power. These kind of things we have already defined in case of one phase. So now let us try to talk about the average power. So I am going to talk about now the average power, and per phase I am going to talk, because I am assuming here that I have Y connected load. So what we have observed in the first part of today's lecture, that instantaneous power is independent of time. So since the instantaneous power is independent of time, the average power per phase, and I am defining that by PP, average power per phase, for either Y or delta connected load is P by 3, or where P I have defined as a instantaneous power. So basically from here I am able to write PP is VP IP cos theta, and in that way I can talk about the reactive power. So and the reactive power per phase is, that is given by QP, that is VP IP sin theta. So if we understood about the average power. So by seeing average power, it is possible to write the reactive power. These kind of things we have already seen in the one phase, because we are again talking per phase basis. So due to that reason results remains the same, and the apparent power and whatever definition I have made for the one phase, same kind of definition is applicable here. I am not going to alter any definition of apparent power, reactive power, or whatever average power, instantaneous power. Same kind of definition I am going to follow here. So that apparent power I am going to represent by SP, that is Vp into Ip. And after defining the apparent power, one can again define the next, that is the complex power, and again I am defining per phase basis. That is the advantage of the YY connection. Per phase is SP PP plus JQP. So I can represent like this. That is the complex conjugate, where let us write the meaning, where Vp and Ip are phase voltage and phase current, and with magnitude Vp and Ip respectively. And after defining the complex power, one can also talk about the total average power. So that is the sum of the average power per phase. So the total average power is the sum of the average power in phase and if you do the summation of this, then P is PA plus PB plus PC. So that is 3 PP, and that is the 3 VP IP into cos theta. And I can also write this as a root 3 VL IL cos theta, because I have considered the Y connected load. And what we have observed, that for a Y connected load in previous class we have already seen that. So before going to this class again, you have to first repeat the previous class. So what we have found, that IL is IP. So current remains the same, means phase current equal to line current, but voltage has this kind of relation, that is root 3 Vp. So this is for the delta connection, but if you see the Y connection, but if you see the delta connection, then for delta connected load, I have IL equal to root 3 IP, and VL is Vp, and due to this region, you can see here that in one case Vp equal to VL, but IP is root 3 of VL. In another case, I have reverse kind of relation. Due to that region, this relation remains true for the delta as well as Y connected load. Due to that region, I have written this kind of expression. And if you understood this, then now I can write similarly the total reactive power, and that is Q equal to 3 Vp IP multiplied by, since I am talking about the reactive power, so that is sine theta. So again that is equal to the 3Q, and again expression remains the same, VL IL, and in place of cos theta now I have sine theta. So in case of the average power I have cos theta, but in case of reactive power I have sine theta. And now I am also able to calculate the total complex power. So the total complex power, and that is given by S into 3sp, again the addition per phase, and that is Vp into IP, and that is the complex conjugate. So these kind of things we have already seen in the one phase circuit, just I am generalizing here. So basically I have 3 Vp square and Zp star, and where basically I am assuming, if you remember when I have started the class, at that time I am assuming that load impedance in this form is the load impedance per phase, and here Zp can be, so Zp could be either Y connected or delta connected. So whatever connection you want, please replace that, but complex power that remains the same. Or in alternate way, we can also write complex power like this. So alternatively, we can also write S equal to P plus JQ, and that is root 3 VLIL, and I am going to write in term of phasor. Then I can write like this, and here please do not forget that VLIL, VP, IP all are the RMS value, and theta is the angle of the load impedance or angle between phase voltage or phase current. So let us write this about theta. So where theta is the angle of the load impedance, or you can interpret or the angle between the phase voltage and the phase current and the phase current. So in this way we are able to talk about the all different kind of powers. Means first we have calculated instantaneous power, and what we have observed that instantaneous power is constant, but in if you see the one phase, whatever analysis we have done in the second part of this course, their instantaneous power is varying with respect to time. But here in three phase we are getting this extra advantage. And after that, once I have identified the instantaneous power, then I have identified the average power, and after that reactive power, apparent power, and finally we are able to talk about the complex power. So this is the theoretical foundation of the power in a balanced system, and we have also seen that why almost all countries are following this basic principle to transfer or distribute the power from base station to the load. So now let us come to the some numerical example, and after that I will close the today's lecture. So I have considered the two problems. So first problem, I have taken the YY system. So same YY system I have taken whatever I have means deal during the balanced YY system. But here now in this particular balance connection between source to load, I have to now determine the following quantity. So I have to talk about the average power, I have to talk about the reactive power, and I have to talk about the other powers. So let us try to select a different color, and here the complex power at the source, and source is basically Y connected. So already we have seen the theoretical result, and here you can see that this is three phase source and this is three phase load, and this is Y connected and this is also Y connected. Here positive sequence is involved because you can see that this is A, this is B, and this is C. So 0 degree, minus 120 degree, minus 240 degree. So minus 240 degree you can write, also able to write as a 120 degree. So rotor is rotating in counterclockwise direction. So let us see that means how to solve this problem. So I have already told you that if I have Y to Y balance connection, then I can treat that as a one phase. So due to that reason, I am going to done analysis in terms of one phase. So I have considered the voltage for phase A and current IP. So these kind of calculation we have already done. So same kind of quantity I am going to use here, and after that I am going to calculate the complex power. So complex power is just the multiplication, and this is the manipulation of the complex number. So that is very easy. And once you will calculate the complex power, so from the complex power, whatever real part, that is the average power, and whatever the complex part, that is the reactive power. And reactive power we are denoting using var. However, average power we are denoting using watt. So same kind of unit I have used. And after that, at at the load side, complex power can be calculated like this. So SL I have calculated, that is 3IP. We have already seen this kind of formula. So and again, means in case of Y connection, current IP, phase current equal to IA. Due to that reason, I have used the same current, and after using this kind of current, now I can further able to write like this. And again, at the source end, the real part is the average power, and that is given like this. And after that I have calculated the reactive power. And if you see the difference between two complex power, means one power at source side and another power at the load side, that is nothing but the power absorbed by the line impedance, because there are some line impedance is also present. So in this way, if you take the difference between two complex number, then you are able to understand that how much power is absorbed by the line impedance. And complex power absorbed by line we can also calculate like this, because I know the IP means current, I know the ZL means line impedance. So just you can do multiplication, and after that we are able to get this. And again, it is possible to show that means all power, because power is always means conserved, means whatever power that is generated by the source, that is the summation of the power that is dissipated as or consumed as a load as well as the line. So same kind of result. So this is the way to verify the calculation, whatever calculation you have done, that is correct or not. Now let us come to the second problem. So now suppose I have three-phase motor, and I am assuming that three-phase motor as the Y balanced load. So what happens that I have means generated the electricity using three-phase motors, and I have means sorry, here I am talking about the motor as a load. So basically what I am assuming that I have certain generation station, and after that whatever uh, I have certain kind of connection. So so that motor is basically drawing some kind of power from the source. So and what we have found that whatever power that is drawn by that motor is 5.6 kilowatt, and line voltage means whatever voltage, that is 220 volt, and line current we have seen like this. Then I have to determine the power factor of the motor. So basically apparent power, if you will see, then apparent power is root 3 VL into IL. So root 3 220 degree on 18.2. So then I can calculate the apparent power, and once we will know the apparent power, I can calculate the real power, or once I will get the real power, then I can able to talk about the power factor. So in this way it is possible to solve this kind of numerical. So with this discussion I am going to close the today's lecture.